Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. Tonight's show is called Misunderstanding of the Black Youth and Knowledge of Self. Knowledge of Self, getting to know yourself with my brother Gabz. Brother Gabz, say peace to the family,
How you
King.
doing, bro?
Good, good,
Peace,
good.
peace, peace, family, peace.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Now you know what? Yeah, most people don't know that you were the one who kind of introduced this show today. Like, what was the inspiration behind the show?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's just a lot of things have been going on in my mind lately. Dealing with certain issues at Speakers Corner and some of the topics and some of the discussions that come on, and also dealing with all that. Obviously, people leaving comments and basically trying to break down certain certain mindsets or stereotypes that people have on people dealing with Kemet, or should I say, yeah, this Kemet, the Kemet thing that always gets thrown around. To break down from my point of view and my experience, my journey, and from my viewpoint, um, the teachers that I've learned and the things that I've learned over my journey, and just share it with the people and see if we can build. The main reason for this is to build and to encourage more discussions with our young people, and also to maintain peace and not war and destruction. You know what I mean? Like, get rid of the negative energy.
I love that. You know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. I've literally just stopped my having my dinner to have this show here right now. I can't wait because I know you got a section where you're going to be breaking down your personal journey from wherever you were into consciousness and into African spirituality, to be specific. So I can't wait for that. Shout outs to the chat room as well. I see you, Kaba Nebti Ankt. Peace to you, Lady Divine, Asar M. Kab, T. Kemet, Miskin 18. And there's quite a lot of people up in here. So peace and love to you, family members. If you can as well, please hit the share button. Let everybody know that we're live right now on Talk with the Titans, and we're going in with my brother Gabz from the UK, representing strong and hard. So we're about to get it in. We're about to get it in. My brother did send me, even the Vice channel was here with us. My brother did send me a nice long litany, like send me, the body parts of a saw, all 14 body parts. My brother has sent me over here. So let's get it in. I got things here, whereas the misunderstanding of the Black Africans, knowledge of self, the spiritual mindset versus religious, a little breakdown of your journey, breakdown on the misunderstanding of Kemet, why we acknowledge Kemet. We don't just focus on Kemet as well. So you know what? I want to know, like, tell me, what is Kemet in your perspective, and is that where you want to start, or do you want to start somewhere before that?
Um, we can start anywhere. I don't mind as long as we deal with the main points. Yeah, we can start on the things. I'd like it like that. If you go to the points, then I can just share it with the people. So
Well,
yeah, if
from
you want to start on that one, you can start on that. Or if you want me to go through one, two, three all the way down, then
Cool. I want you to give me a breakdown of what Kemet is first, and the misunderstandings that are attached to actually Kemet.
okay. So basically, from my point of view and the way I see Kemet for one, because a lot of people keep saying you're Kemetic. That word's been thrown around, been thrown around a lot, especially at Speakers Corner. People have been asking like, "What are you? What do you believe? Are you a Kemetic? What is a Kemetic?" And I keep telling people like believe me, it's not a religion. It's not something like that. Kemet, in its pure form, just means black. Yeah, Kemet. And then obviously the people who brought up the word Kemet attributed it to a particular landmass, which we will call the Nile Valley. So that whole Nile Valley civilization, or the River Nile to most people, that whole area was seen as Kemet to say. So that's the first thing that I want to say on the whole thing. Kemet. Kemet is just dealing with black and also the land. Yeah, the landmass. Um, what was the second point again? break down the misunderstanding. Yeah, breaking down the misunderstanding of Kemet. So in the park, a lot of people been saying, Kemet, Kemet, you guys deal with idol worship. You guys worship your ancestors. You talk to your ancestors. Um, you do this, you do that. Like you're black, you're supremacist. Your cult, your black cult. You're this. You know what I mean? Just a lot of words have been thrown around, and I just want to slow down and show people that me and Kalam already, we've even done some videos on Talk with the Titans, like actually addressing these questions that people are saying. You know what I mean? Kemet is not seen like that. For me personally, I want people to understand that Kemet, to me, is seen as a place of education, learning, and wisdom. You see what I'm saying? From the ancient ancestors who thrived in the area. That's what it's seen as to me. It's not seen as a place where, you know, chaos or something was going on. You know what I mean? Chaos might have been going on, but what I'm trying to say is from what people have been saying, like, oh, you do this, you do that. Why did you worship your ancestors? Blah 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 blah. For me personally, it's seen as a place where at a particular time knowledge was at its height. Yeah, knowledge thrived throughout that whole area. Do you know what I mean? They had different schools of thought where people would go there to learn and educate themselves and gain knowledge and wisdom. Do you know what I mean? Being in that particular region. So that's why I want to break that down and show people that the reason why I deal with that is because I'm a person that believes or knows that knowledge is power, and I strive to gain knowledge to better myself, and I encourage many young people out there to gain knowledge and know themselves and better themselves with that knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And gain wisdom. So that's what I want to say on that point there. Um, did you want me to go through and start from there? Do you want to just?
Yeah. Let me go down. Because somebody was asking me earlier on. What was they asking me? Actually? Let me just check. Back up in the comment sections was one of the first questions. Apparently, black youngsters are ignorant, according to Adnan Rashid. Please address by Karamber Mataro.
Say that again. I couldn't even quite hear you.
So apparently, black youngsters are ignorant. Could you address that? That's a comment by Adnan Rashid. Somebody said.
Someone said apparently black youth are just ignorant.
Yes.
Okay, now black people are just ignorant. Now, ignorance. I'm trying to understand how you could say black kids are ignorant. Well, to be fair, you could have a point because if we are ignorant, would you blame us? Because even if you're looking at that, if you're looking at the history that we've had around us, especially the black youth, especially dealing with the school systems, especially being brought up in the Western world. First and foremost, we are not taught the history of our people, of our cultures. You know what I mean? We're not taught anything positive about our cultures from school. Yeah. The first thing that we learn about our history and our culture is slavery. Everybody knows this. Everybody who's brought up in a Western school in the UK knows that, especially when you're dealing with black history, the first thing that you got introduced to was slavery, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. This was the first time you got into contact with black African history. Some other schools might have been different, but from what I know, the majority of my friends and people that I've spoke to, the first thing that they've come into contact with is slavery. Nobody ever talks about, we didn't get taught that in school. We either knew about, when it comes to our history, we either got taught about slavery, and then after that, we went into obviously European history, talking about the Saxons, the Vikings, the Romans, the Greeks. We had to dress up like Romans and Greeks. Do you know what I mean? About in religion, Hindu culture, Chinese culture. We got taught about wisdom, all these different things we got taught about in depth. But when it came to the black kids and the black people's history, the first thing that we came into contact with was slavery, and that was a major thing for me, especially in school, because I had got in my school. I had a lot of white friends that I used to hang around with, and we used to be very tight. But as soon as we got to secondary school, and we finally got into contact with slavery, for some reason there was a slight little separation. People started to go into groups. I don't know what it was. Like, experienced the same thing. But most of your white friends that you had around you started hanging a bit more with their white friends. The Asians started hanging a bit with their Asians, and then the black groups kind of stuck together. And I've noticed that happened after a certain time once we got introduced to slavery in school. And me coming from a place where I worked in school, I could see it happening with my own eyes, year after year after year after year. The same things was repeating itself. You see what I'm saying? So, on that comment about black people are ignorant, and who did he say made that comment?
Adnan Rashid. It said apparently.
Adnan Rashid. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you're right. But that's not our fault. Can you blame us? Even if we are ignorant. You know what I mean? We haven't the right information. We haven't been exposed to the right information. Do you know what I mean? We haven't been introduced to the right information. Nobody ain't really waving the flag to say, hey guys, come look, come and learn about this. To contact with the right information if you just pick up a book yourself, or if someone says, look, come look. Do you know what I mean? Come and look at this information I have. You go through understanding that information. Other than that, there ain't no one out there really that's going to be showing the kids, listen, this is the wrong information. The school system ain't doing it. Do you know what I mean? The school systems ain't really doing it. You know, and that's the first, and this is the first content that we have as youth growing up of knowing our history is in the schools. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and then that begins the domino effect of the ignorance of the black youth. Because first and foremost, in the school, we didn't know none of our history, and we didn't get taught none of our history. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I have to say on that. Any other questions out there, bro?
No, that's it. That was the only question I saw.
Okay.
You're saying, well, a lot of black ignorant youths in prison system turn to Islam. Don't co-sign that garbage, Gabz. Yeah, I gotta say that as well, man. Don't co-sign that black people are ignorant, man. Don't co-sign that. No. Let's be real though. Let's actually be real though, and say that there is a high majority of black people who do have some level of ignorance in terms of knowledge of self, and their history and their culture and their heritage and who they are and their ability to and their potential. There is a lot of people that have a ignorance to their potential and who they are exactly. But then at the same breath, there is a lot of conscious, aware, well-to-do black folks that have risen above the degradation and the oppression that's been given to them from generations, from the Windrush era, when black people were just coming into this country from the Caribbean, as well as from Africa as well, coming into this country, being oppressed, slavery, all types of, chaotic events was taking place in the UK, and has caused black people to be behind in a certain sense, even to do with the whole slavery and colonization. It kind of impeded on certain groups of individuals or groups of people in this country. But again, in the same breath, there is a lot of well-to-do black people that have risen above all of that, risen way above that. And I think right now we are getting to be the most clued up than we have ever been before. And I have to give thanks and praise to the information age. We're moving into this age of awareness where you can't help but know names such as Dr. Sabi. You can't help but know names such as Malcolm X and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can't help but know names like Farrakhan. You can't help but know names as Sa Netta and Brother Polite and Dr. Umar Johnson, etc., etc., etc. And all of the greats like Anthony Browder and Dr. Ben. You can't help but know these names to help you to rise up. You can't help but know names such as Marcus Garvey, Deuce Ali, who else? Let me just get some of the names out there real quickly. My Moorish brothers as well. Noble Drew Ali. Can't help but know these names. Like, you have to know these names. Like, it's imperative that you know these names, and imperative to actually study who these individuals were, the what was going on during their eras and what they actually contributed to our upliftment. So there's a lot of clued up black people around. Don't get that twisted, because we have gone past that stage of being ignorant, and it's a shame. David Banner, there we go. John Henrik Clark, Khalid Muhammad. Like, it'd be a shame to say that black people on a whole are ignorant, but yet at the same time, there is a good number of black people who are still falling for the trap. So that's true. Dr. Van Sertima, Ivan Van Sertima. Let's get it. Oh, my brother, I know you wanted to continue.
Yeah. Do you know what? What I'm gonna go into next, which I think would be good, is I'm gonna go into a little bit of my journey and how I got into this, and why I why am I now part of this African spirituality and bringing the knowledge of African spirituality out. You know what I mean, and sharing this knowledge with the people. So I think that'd be the best time to go into this, so people can understand my journey and what I went through. So, as you all know, my name, they call me Gabz, short for Gabriel. That's my name. How can I say it now? I grew up in a Christian. Sorry, what was you gonna say?
I said, what, like the angel?
Yeah, bro, like the angel, like the messenger. You know. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I grew up in a Christian household, a very, very strict Christian household. For those people that come down Speaker's Corner, you might have seen my mum. She's been on a few videos talking with some of the Muslim brothers out there. A lot of the Christians know her very well. They love her a lot down there. Yeah, that's my mum. She's a Caribbean descent. Also, my father was a big Christian, coming from Nigeria. So I grew up in a half Caribbean, half Jamaican, half Nigerian household with strict Christian background. Obviously, people know this. So obviously, as from a kid, obviously, I was always hearing the stories about Jesus, the Bible, reading this, reading that, going to Sunday school. First encounter with going to a place was, for that know, Nigerians, the Celestial Church. Celestial Church. That was my first experience with Christianity. I don't know if the brother Kalam knows about the Celestial Church.
Brother, are those the crazy white people? Not the crazy white people, but the crazy, you know, the ones with the white gums, like the white gums and the big urban looking thing going on. Oh man, that's the spiritualist church.
Trust me, that's the spiritualist church there. People know about spiritualist church. You know about the Celestial Church? Trust me, there's some serious spirituality going in there. So that was the first time I come into contact with that. You know what I mean? Growing up, I was going there every day, every hour. Then a couple of years, I say, till I got about to the age of 6, 7. My mum and my dad split up. I moved away with my dad and my sister, and my dad left the Celestial Church and went straight into a Pentecostal church, where we stayed, and we liked it. To be fair, it was a good church, Raymond Christian Ministries. We had a good pastor by the pastor's name of Pastor Mark Goodridge. And I'm not even gonna lie, this was the part of my life where I was very interested in Christianity, because I used to love the information that the pastor used to share. He used to break down a lot of stuff, and to me, it made a lot of sense. Certain things made sense growing up. So I was going to Raymond Christian Ministries from about 6 all the way up till about 15 years of age. 15 years of age, I was going, always learning. My dad showing me books. My dad's got a lot of libraries. And that was my journey. But then I'd say when I got to the age of about 14, certain things in the church never used to make, how can I explain it? Certain things didn't make sense to me. I always used to be the one in church when the pastor was talking to raise my hand and ask some questions. And then he'd be like, Abel, man, yeah, just hold your questions there, hold your questions. Don't worry, we will answer them at the end. I always had questions. My dad said I've always been like that from young. I always used to ask questions because as a child, man, I used to be plagued with some serious nightmares, boy. Trust me, you guys don't know, man. I used to be plagued with some serious nightmares. If I could get my dad on and my sisters on there to vouch for me, man, they'll be like, listen, this guy had some serious nightmares. But I always used to ask a lot of questions. And obviously, asking these questions, I realized that most of these questions never used to get answered in the church. So that always used to just ponder in my mind, like, this is a bit weird. This is a bit weird. I'm asking these simple questions, valid questions, but the pastors don't seem to want to be answering, or no one in the church seems to want to be answering. Even my dad didn't feel comfortable answering some of the questions I posed to him. So, nonetheless, I didn't really see it as anything. Hey, maybe they just can't answer it. And then that was it. Outside of the church, obviously, my life growing up in South London. You know, um, getting involved with gangs and stuff. You know, typical gangs, get involved in the wrong crowd, hang around, messing around, causing mischief. Um, I kind of stopped going to church a bit because I was out with my friends, just causing madness out. And then so there was a big point in my life where I got caught um, uh, doing a robbery in which I spent some time behind bars. I got sentenced to jail at the age of 18. I just turned 18, so I had my birthday in there, my 18th birthday, and that was a hard time for me because at the same point I was on the verge of signing a contract for a big professional football team, and that scarpered my opportunity to play for this professional team. And yeah, birthday inside, family, everybody, friends was distraught, but you know, you do the crime, you gotta do the time. So you know what I mean? I took it on the chin, and I went inside, and then my time in there, I started getting this connection about Christianity again. I started looking into the Bible, going to the chaplain, talking to the people there, talking to the bishops and in the church. Started to read the Bible a lot, and then all these questions again that I had when I was younger started to arise again, and I started to ask the same questions to the chaplain in the chaplain and talk to them, and they never used to know the answers either. So I was still confused. I was thinking, why is it no one can answer these questions that I asked? You know what I mean? But that's how it goes. And then about how can I say about 3 months into my sentence, I was on the phone to my dad, and my dad was like to me, "Listen, I'm gonna send you a book, man. I'm gonna send you the book. I want you to start reading. I got a book for you. I'm gonna send it in." And I was like, "What book? Like, what book are you gonna send in?" He's like, "Don't worry, man. When it comes, you'll know about it. You know what I mean? You just make sure that you start reading it." And I was just like, "All right, cool. I'll wait for this book, and then obviously I'll read it." So about 2 weeks later, my cellmate, I was my cellmate who shared the room with me, was a white guy by the name of Ian, 35 years of age. Yeah, he was older than me at the time. He gave me the package when I came into the cell and said, "Listen, I think this is for you." Open up the package, and obviously I got a book, and this book has been with me ever since. You know, I might even get the book later on to show you guys, but the book was Now Valley Contribution to Civilization. I spoke about this book earlier today in the earlier video. It was a big book, especially to me. This was start of my journey, but this was the book I got. Now, I don't know if the brother Kalam can share the screen because I wanna explain something when I got this book, which is very, very, very funny. Right there, please share the screen. Let the people see the book.
They're seeing it, King. They're seeing it.
They've seen it. Okay.
They're
So
seeing
now let
it.
me show. Yeah. So now let me show you a thing. So now I've unwrapped this package. Yeah. And the first thing I've seen on that front cover, if you hold that cover up again, hold that cover up. The first thing I've seen on this cover is this big pyramid with an eye on it, and I'm thinking, oh, what the heck is this? I see a bird in the middle. These symbols were, I saw a face. It looked like an African face. I didn't know. Intrigued and all this stuff. I saw all these things in it, and I was thinking, what kind of book is this? You know what I mean? I never knew, because at this age I wasn't interested in African spirituality. I knew I was obviously had African descent from obviously my dad being Nigerian and my mum. You know what I mean? Teaching me little things here and there. But all of this stuff, I was thinking, what the heck? So I just dashed the book down on the bed, and I said to myself, man, I ain't reading this nonsense. And then there was one thing that stuck with me. What my cellmate said. He said, Gabz, listen, this book that your dad sent obviously has been sent you for a reason. You can throw it down there and leave it there, or you can pick it up and read it. But one thing you got to realize, yeah, knowledge is power. This is the key thing that he said. He said, knowledge is power, yeah, and you gain wisdom. Give you wisdom for the good or wisdom for the bad. So he said, if I was you, I would think about it and read that book. And them words stuck with me for so long that even to the point where I came out, I even got that tattooed on my neck. As you can see here, I got knowledge is power tattooed on my neck, just from that one day, as soon as I came out, from what my cellmate had said to me. So I took what he said before I touched the book. Still, I didn't pick it up straight away. About a week until I picked up the book, started flicking through the pages, started seeing all these authors like Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. I didn't know who these guys were. Anthony Browder, Sheikh Anta Diop. I was thinking, who the heck are these guys? These black guys that deal with history. I just didn't care. I was thinking, okay. But then I started reading through it. And I'm telling you, I was amazed at the things I was seeing. I was so excited at things that I was seeing that I've never been taught before, that I was going to the library, going to the internet, and just typing up information that I'd seen on it and verifying to see if it was right or wrong and what they were saying. And then things was adding up and making sense. And I was like, I didn't get taught this. Do you know what I mean? So things that I was going through the book all started to make sense. So reading the book, I had the Bible next to me. I was getting information from the internet, trying to verify certain things. And I was thinking, whoa. And then I started taking these books to the chaplain, to the church, asking them questions. And they was like, wow, this is some deep stuff that this brother's talking about. We don't understand. We don't know if we can answer any of these questions that you have. Going through that book, man, started to change my outlook on life, especially on African history. Because like I said, school that we went to, even went to the same school, our school, big school that we went to, almost 300 people in one year group. We never got taught any ancient history. Do you know what I mean? We just got taught the simple slavery, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Flip, I don't even know if we even touched on Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks like that. Too tough. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if the brother could vouch for me.
No, we never touched on none of that. The most we touched on was Martin Luther King. That was it.
Yeah.
Malcolm X. I don't think there might have been a paragraph for Malcolm X, but that was about it. That was it. There was nothing. There was nothing.
See, there was nothing. And our school was a big school, big on education. Like, it was a very, very, very big school that we went to, man. I'm telling you that the school resembled, I don't know if you guys know Hogwarts and Harry Potter. The school resembled that to the T, just like it. Yeah, so big. Like, and we never got taught this information. Like, the most information we got taught was about, the Romans, the Greeks, the great stories of London. What's it? The plague. Do you know what I mean? All these are the stuff that we knew about. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, the bubonic plague, the fire of London, the Battle of Hastings, 1066. Like, those are the types of things. Saxons, a little bit of Vikings. That was it, man. That was it.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I don't.
RE, we just about touched on what's his name? My Hindu brother, man. What's his name?
Gandhi.
Gandhi, that's it. Gandhi. That was about it.
Gandhi. Yep. We just touched on Gandhi. And brother, correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me if I'm lying or not, yeah? Introduced to slavery at school. Yeah? The first time we got introduced to slavery. Did you notice after that moment we came into contact with that, the groups that started to form, whereas most of the groups used to stick with each other. Like, you had the black groups, you had the white group that was over there, you had the Asians over there. You did get some of the whites and some of the Asian people joining up with the blacks, but it was rare. It was like maybe like a couple, like 2, 3, or some of that. But there was a divide from that point onwards. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, no, there was. There definitely was
Yeah,
still.
yeah, yeah. You see what I'm saying? So this was our reality. This is what we saw on a day to day, because obviously we was in the school. Where you're in a school, do you know what I mean? So this is what we was faced up with, like day to day, for how many years of our life? 5 years of our lives, maybe 6 if you stayed on. But this is what we had. Do you know what I mean? Every single day. So anyway, um, getting back to the story. Yeah, I started reading a bit more, questioning a bit more, asking my dad. Oh, this is a very valid point. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is a valid point. There was a point where I even called my dad and I spoke to him, and I said to him, "Oh man, this book you sent to me, man, it's now a valid book. Like it was a good book." But guys, imagine this. I could get my dad to speak with it. We argue about it today. To this day, do you know that my dad still says that he never sent me this book? He says he never sent me this book. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. What is this guy talking about? You told me you was going to send me a book. He said I didn't send it. We used to have arguments. He said he never sent me this book. Me, my sisters, and I'm telling you, we used to argue in the house when I came out, saying, "Come on, man, you send me the book." It's to the point where in the book it says it's even got my dad's name. His name is in the book, saying it's from him. That he said it to me, and he still believes that he never sent me this book. So I'm thinking, if you never sent me this book, who sent me this book, man? Do you know what I mean? It was mad. Was you gonna say something, bro?
No, go on, man. That's those moments there, those are those moments.
Yeah, yeah. We have this argument today. I'm telling you, if my dad was like into this whole YouTube stuff, if I was to get him on right now, and you could ask him and see himself and say, "Did you send Gabz this now valid contribution book?" He would say, "No, I didn't." We argue to this day about it. But anyway, he sent me this book that he said he didn't send, obviously, and now I'm gaining all this knowledge and finding out new information. So anyway, a few years went by. I came out of prison. I kind of left the book for a bit. I put it down for a while. Didn't really go much into it. So I wanted to catch up with normal life, get back out partying, doing what I was doing, um, um, hang around my friends and all that stuff there. And then what can I say? There was even a point now where some of my friends introduced me into Islam and started saying, "Oh, have you thought about Islam? Come around and come to the mosque, come to the masjid." And I was like, okay. I was like, there's no harm in checking this out. Let me go down. So I went with a couple of my brothers. They took me down there. Went to the masjid, listened, watched some of the prayers, listened to some of the brothers talking about the Quran and the message from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And you know what I mean? I was intrigued. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. This makes sense. Like, wow, like, okay, I can dig this. I can see the brotherhood there. Do you know what I mean? The brothers were together and all this stuff. You know what I mean? They came in together, they ate together. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, this seems valid. You know what I mean? So a couple months later, obviously, I took my shahada, and yeah, I was a Muslim, and I actually was intrigued. I had the Quran. I used to read certain passages. I used to come and do the prayers and stuff like that. But there was always something in the back of my mind that was leading me back to the book. Even though I'd accepted Islam, there was still something in the back of the mind that was leading me to the book, because one thing that I noticed is that even when I was a Christian, and even though I now become a Muslim, I could never see any of my African ancestors in the book. This is just one thing. I couldn't see it because I was thinking, okay, I have to now learn Arabic, um, and and learn the culture and the history of what was going on in Mecca, Medina. But I was thinking, but this isn't anything to do with African history, and the book kept being played in my mind, and
You
to
know
the
what?
point where
You know what they say? They say once you go black, you can't
so
go back.
that's a joke. This guy's a joke about. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, things was always in the back of my mind. So I was like, okay. Then time was going on. Every time I was coming for Friday prayers, I used to be praying, and I used to think, what am I doing? There was a point where I sat down and I used to think, I used to look around and be like, what am I doing here? Is this really for me? And I thought to myself, if I don't feel 100% sure, 100% committed, there's no point me being here. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the type of person that if I'm not 100% sure on anything, if I'm not 100% sure that I'm in this belief system, and I'm sure that I'm gonna push it and spread the word, because I just feel like I'm lying to myself and I'm doing the religion a disservice. So I said to my brothers, listen, I'm gonna take a bit of time out. I'm gonna leave the faith and then just spend some time and get to know myself and understand where I'm going, because there's a lot of things going in my mind. A lot of things was rolling around in my mind. I need to clear my mind. So the brothers understood me. We had a good relationship. Even I spoke to their mom, and he said, you know what, it's fine. Everybody has their journey. You take the time out and you do that. And he said, hopefully, inshallah, you'll be back. And I said, thanks for that. And that was it. That was my time. I think that was about about 5 months being a Muslim. 5 months it lasted, and then that was my time there done. And then that was it from that point. Yeah,
You did well, bruv. You did well. 5 months, bruv.
I tried, man. I tried. I'm not gonna lie, I tried, man. But as soon as I left, that was it. I thought, you know what, I got to take it upon myself, get back in, find that book, and get into some knowledge and start doing some proper research. So there is one quote in the book that I would want to say, Kalam, if you can go in there. I think it's near the front in the page. And this is another saying that stuck with me. The first time after I left Islam and I grabbed the book, this was the first thing that I saw that stuck with me. Near to the front, there should be a little quote, a proverb there about knowing thyself. Maybe not the second, third, fourth page.
I won't let this.
Can you see it? It should be a picture of maybe it's a picture of a if I remember, it's a picture of an African holding a djed, and it says know thyself. I think it's in the first, maybe I don't know, the third page, second page, third page, full page, fifth page.
Keep rolling, man.
Can't hear you, man.
I said keep rolling, because if I find it, I'll find it.
Okay. Yeah, find it for me. Yeah, just a picture. But basically, the first thing I saw in it was a picture of an African holding the djed, which and it said, "Know thyself." That stuck deep within me. Like, know thyself. Do I really know myself? What does that mean? Know thyself. I'm thinking, know thyself. African proverb, knowing thyself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I got it.
you got it there?
Yeah.
Show them the picture.
It says, know thyself. A person who knows not. I repeat, a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Teach them. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. A person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep. Awaken them. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All of these persons reside in you. Know thyself, and to ma'at be true.
Big. If you can show that as well, I like the people to see so they know that it's not a game. This is real stuff that's in there. So imagine me leaving Islam and opening the book again for the first time. This is what I see. You know what I mean? This is what I see.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's page 6. That's page 6, you know. Wow. I like this. Let me just find the wise one. Let me get to the wise one. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. A person who knows and knows not that they know. Again, a person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep. Awaken them. There's certain people here that are sleeping, you know.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
certain people here that are sleeping. A
Tell you.
person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Teach them. I like those types of people, you know. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. Those are the type of people who will come humbly and want to learn. But anyway, continue, King. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a powerful quote.
So so me leaving Islam, that's the first thing that I've seen back in the book, in the pages. I'm thinking, whoa. And that hit me deep, man. That hit me deep. And then obviously I started my journey again, reading the book. It inspired me to get other books to read. I got the Bible with me. I got the Quran with me, and I was just reading and just making sense of everything. You know what I mean? And it all seemed to follow the same path. You know what I mean? They all talk about knowing yourself, understanding yourself, be at one with yourself, be at peace with yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? And um, uh, long story short, basically, after many years of reading this book and understanding, it's helped me to it's put me in a place at peace where I wasn't so aggressive how I was when I was younger. And you know what I mean? I see the world in a different place. I see everybody as we're all brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? We all have our own journey, and we all have our own path. You know what I mean? Sometimes things may go astray, and some things may lead you in the path. But if you know yourself and have faith in yourself, you'd always get back on that path. Do you know what I mean? It's only you that decides whether you can get on the path. You know what I mean? I know a lot of my religious people would obviously some might disagree and say, well, only God can do it. But um, I say it's still you, because you're the one that makes the ultimate decision and choice to change your life around and put yourself on the path. No one is holding your hand and guiding you there. You're the one that has to do it. You see what I'm saying? It's you that's in this physical body, and it's you that's the one that's got to make things right and make things straight. No one else, because at the end of the judgment day, it is you that's the one that's getting judged. You see what I'm saying? It's you that's getting judged for your actions and all the things that you did in this world. So I know it kind of contradicts if you're going to say God was the one that did it for you, because then if God was the one that did it for you to help you change and make a difference in your life, then on the judgment day he should be judging himself, because he's the one that done it. You know what I mean? So that's what got me into that, and brought me more into this ancient civilization of Egypt, and that got me to the trail of starting to look into that history, because this was a part of history that I had no clue about. I was finding out new things: pharaohs, kings, Nasuts. They built the pyramids. I really intrigued. They built the pyramids. Scientists today don't know how they built the pyramids. They was dealing with medicine. They was dealing with mathematics, music, astronomy, all this stuff on astronomy. How was they able to carve these stones? Like, what technology were they using? Like, all these things started to fascinate me. All these things started to fascinate me. And I'm thinking, why wasn't this stuff taught to me in school? You know what I mean? Why didn't we hear about this? Why didn't we hear about, not just in the Nile Valley civilization, why did we hear about the Benin Empire? I would like people for you to look up the Benin Wall. People talk about the Great Wall of China, but people don't know about the Benin Wall. The Benin Wall is 10 times bigger than the Great Wall of China, and to the point where the astronauts say that they can see it out in space. Go and check it out. Most people that don't know, type in the Benin Wall, which is in Benin, Nigeria. This is hidden in the forest. It's a great wall. Nobody knew about this. Nobody know. No one really knew about this. I didn't know about it. Shoot, people might have known, but no one didn't tell me anything. Do you know what I mean? All this different information. The Dogon tribe, people, the Khoisan. You know what I mean? The people down in South Africa. Yeah, the Sudan, all these different cultures and stuff. It was like an explosion. I started finding out different information, and I was thinking, shown this, and why wasn't I taught this? And I'm not gonna lie, I came into this, it did bring a lot of anger in my heart. It did, because I was thinking, like, why would the people like not want to show this? Why would they try so hard to keep this information away from brothers and sisters that look like me? I don't understand. take me like a good year to come to terms and understand why these things must be hidden and why it wasn't portrayed to us. Do you know what I mean? So I've come over that now. I understand. Like, I think I don't know, but it could be some agenda or something to keep the information away from the people. I don't know why, but this is just what I see. We got to be real with ourselves. Whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, black, white, European, no, black, European, Asian, whatever, you can see that there is a particular group, i.e., the black Africans, has been distorted and not been shamed. You know this. You was there in school with us. You know, you saw it yourself when you were getting taught about African slavery. Just be real with yourself. It's true. Whether there is a big agenda and the reason behind it, who knows? But this is the facts. You know what I mean? This is the facts in it. And this is what's leading into my point. The mindset of the black African youth, which was on one of my points. This is the reason why you can see that the black youth don't strive, or they fall short in understanding or sticking to the right path, because the only thing that they came into contact with was slavery, and then that took their attention away from everything. They didn't want to hear what teachers was going to say after that. Look, I was just a slave. I don't care. There's nothing else. I don't know anything other than slavery. You know what I mean? Then that starts the domino effect of they're no longer concentrating in school. You know what I mean? The music scene or the football scene, because now your musicians become your heroes. You see what I'm saying? Your sports athletes become your heroes and your idols. You know what I mean? Because we didn't know anything prior about our culture and our history, we now have to go by what was going on at the time. So some of the youth, our idols became these local rappers, rappers in America, Hans that we looked up to, and that was it. And I would say that the music was a major part in this whole destruction of the mindset of the young black youth. You can see it today. And music that people get introduced to at a young age, talking about guns, making money fast, quick, drugs, girls, cars, major impact. You know what I mean? And where we weren't getting no history about the music we had prior, we were kings and queens, we were brothers and sisters prior, and just knowing simple things about how we lived and our culture, that stuff played a big effect on us. You know what I mean? So like I said, our MCs and our rappers, and we wanted to follow them, was saying, and leave what they were saying. So they were saying, yeah, guns, killer N, killer black boy, killer. I'm gonna get all these female, you know what I mean? All these provocative words fizzled out on the streets. Gangs, everyone fighting, everyone. This is part of this gang. I'm part of this gang. Girlfriend, I need to go and do something to him, and da. And you see it today, in the black culture, where you see on the news daily, they're stabbing and killing each other over silliness, over whether it's to do with gangs, whether it's to do with females, whether it's to do with silly stuff. You know what I mean? And I would say the reason we're to blame for that, especially we're to blame for that, is because to understand our history and teach ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And our parents didn't take the time out to teach us and educate us on our history. And then more time, it might not have been their fault because they didn't know. Before them didn't know. And the parents before them didn't know. So it's just a long list of people that just didn't know anything, didn't know the history. So this is why we are how we are. You know what I mean? And this is why I always say it's important to know your culture. First things first, know your culture, know your history, know where you come from. Whether it's good history, as long as you know. You have cultures and people out there that they're embedded in their history and their culture. They're Hindu. They know their culture, strict in it. From in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, culture. Brothers and sisters in the UK, history, culture. Brothers in China, history, culture. You see what I'm saying? Everybody all these other cultures out there, all these other ethnic groups out there were taught their culture from a young age, and they knew it, learned their languages, bang, 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 and they knew it. Black people, it wasn't, we didn't have that, because it was either our parents were in religion, i.e. a Christian, or a Muslim, or they just didn't care. So our culture was either Jesus Christ and the Abrahamic religions, or it was from the Muslim side, still Saudi Arabia. And no, both of these places still in Africa, in our culture, and we still weren't getting that history. Some of the prophets may have traveled. We say, well, yeah, people in the Bible are African. Da, 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 da. Contact with Christianity, you know this. You saw white Jesus, you saw white Mary. This is what you got introduced to in school. What you saw. The Jews weren't portrayed as blacks at that time. You saw them as, all the prophets, everyone in there was European. What I'm trying to say is it still weren't our cultures. We didn't see us that resembled us. Had they had Rama, Sita, and all these other gods, Krishna. The Muslims had obviously the Prophet Muhammad from their area. The Christians had Jesus. The Europeans had Jesus, but an African deity that looked like an African person. But if you did, guess what they said? This was voodoo. This is evil. Those people were voodoo worshippers. Do you know what I mean? So we never saw God that resembled us. You can go out now and ask any black child, or ask any black youth out there, name me an African god or African deity or African prophet. They will look at you and be like, huh? You don't know. Some might know nowadays, but you name it, a majority of them just won't know, or they just don't care. You see what I'm saying? But these other cultures that these other ethnicities that deal with their culture, they can name you straight. Yeah, from a young age. Yeah, we know about Buddha. This what happened. This story, that story, that story. We don't know our stories. So, do you know what I mean? So this is the issue that we have on the black mindset. So I know people might look at black youth and think these people are crazy, man. Look at them. They're just violent. They're aggressive. Stealing it. They're doing this. They're doing that. But you can see the reason why. It's not our fault. You know what I mean? Some of it may be our fault, our parents' fault, but we just didn't know. We just don't know. We didn't get taught our history, right? We didn't spend our parents didn't teach us our history because they didn't know. And we don't spend time to learn our history. There is no establishment where we can go and learn. You know what I mean? Our parents was in religion. So anytime if you did try to talk to them, they'd be like, no, just worry about Jesus. Yeah, just worry about Jesus and Judgment Day. Or if you're Muslim, just worry about what Prophet's saying, and just worry about Judgment Day. That's what we were thinking about.
True. It's true. I'm just grateful I had Sizzler that taught me, you know. I don't know if we're brought up on reggae music and bashing and everything. There, I was taught, may have no white God. Don't teach me anything wrong. Can a white God save me from white man oppression? Hey, yo, you know about them tunes there. Hey, yo, listen, real quickly, everybody who's tuned in right now, please go there down below and hit the like button. Hit hard as you possibly can. I want to see those likes fly up. Please let me know that you appreciate my brother Gabz. My brother Gabz is doing the real talk. This is I love these types of shows here where the realness is being freed up and we're going into like powerful information, real information, social information, and not just the religious stuff that we tend to do on here, but this is real stuff that we're going into. So please hit the like button if you can. Let me just do my quick shout outs. Shout outs to my brother Farhan Qureshi. He's another brother. I'm gonna get this brother on. He's ex-Muslim. Went back to his traditional natural roots of being a Hindu. So he's gone back, and that's gonna be a powerful discussion with him. Hopefully, we're gonna have this soon. We're gonna have this soon, inshallah, to my Muslims. We're gonna have this soon, where I can get my brother on, and we can actually go through his journey as well. Just as we're going through Gabz's journey right now, we're going to go through my brother Farhan Qureshi's journey, tell us a bit more about Hinduism. I'm sure I've got a lot of Southeast Asian followers tuned in, so please, this will be a treat for you. I actually want you to when I do have this brother on, I want you to share this link hard, 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 hard. Okay, that's going to be very powerful. That's a different perspective in general. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. Peace to you, brother Hamid. Peace, Miss Skin 18. The Firestorm is there. Who we got here? Alex Taylor. We also have Pence one. We've also got Sarah Garvey with us as well. So we got a lot of people up in the building. So yeah, peace to the family, man. Peace to the family. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So Gabz. I need to go
Yeah,
back. I need to check something because you did tell me that you are from West African heritage, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I assume you're from Nigerian heritage, right? And let me
yeah,
be more
buddy.
specific. You're from the Yoruba as well, right?
Yoruba, the
Ancestors
Yoruba
going
tribe.
back to the Oduduwa and them ones there, yeah.
There we
Um,
go. There we go.
so you know what, yeah, because a lot of times people hear us talking about Kemet, but
Mm.
do the so-called people who ascribe to Kemet actually delve into other cultures outside of Kemet within inside of Africa?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. And this is another misconception that people seem to think. They seem to think that we're just all fascinated in Kemet. You don't really talk about other cultures. They're like, why are you guys always talking about Kemet so much all the time? Just Kemet, 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 Kemet. And we're like, bro, we don't just deal with Kemet. We deal with the whole diaspora of what we call today Africa. We deal with that history. You know what I mean? There's information that we have on West Africa, yeah, Nigeria, especially that area, Ghana, Benin. Some big information. I'm telling you that you guys are going to be surprised. And when we hit some jewels, Africa, people are going to be surprised. But other cultures, we deal with the Dogon tribe. You know what I mean? We deal with the Khoisan and the Twa, the pygmies in the rainforest. People don't know about the pygmy people that's still there today. Even we still have that live in the forest in Nigeria today, and there's story and history on them. We deal with down in South Africa, yeah, and the ruins that are down there in Zimbabwe, the Zambos. We deal with Mali, yeah, the great empire of Mali, yeah. Who's our richest man that's over there? Mansa Musa, yeah. We deal with listen, the
The Maasai, the Serer, the
yeah,
Wolof, the Jollof, the
good,
geez, let's keep on going. The Akamba,
yeah, Kamba, yeah,
the Lugbada, Lugbada. These are the Ugandan in Uganda and Kenya area. We
yeah,
deal with all of that, man. All of that. The Beja, all of that, man. All of
yeah,
that. Come on, come
yeah.
on.
We do that,
We deal with all of
and
it.
and actually, I am going to give out a little jewel. I'm just going to say a little something because me and my brother Kalam, I know. Hopefully,
Back
we're going
on.
to bring out some information on this. Yeah, we're going to bring some information about this once we delve into it, once we delve into it properly. Why do you guys always say that you guys are from Kemet? Huh? Where can we see the proof of this? People ask me, where can we see the proof that you guys are the ones that was in Kemet building these structures? And I'm going to say, do you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little hint. I'm going to give you a little hint. One of my great, great, great ancestors, yeah, the brother Kalam mentioned him already, Oduduwa. You heard the name? I'm going to say it one more time. Oduduwa. Yeah? Go and check the history and go and check up that brother, Oduduwa, who's one of my great, great, great ancestors. Yeah? For those of you that want to keep asking questions, and this is for even people that are on the Kemetic side, Black Africans, go and look up Oduduwa and see what he did. And then see what people say and what the history is about Oduduwa. To topic and a little discussion about that. You know what I mean? When it comes to why do you guys keep thinking that you were the guys that were over there? Trust me, there's going to be some information on that. You know what I mean? So, Oduduwa, my brothers and sisters out there, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, atheist, Wapian, Hebrew Israelite, go and check that out because it's all good information. Information is information. Check out Oduduwa and and then do some research on him, please. Bro, I see you looking through some book there. I know you. I don't know if you're gonna drop something.
No. I'm just having a little look, man. You just sparked off my brain on something, but I don't want to drop nothing. Yeah, I don't want to drop nothing. That's a big show right there. That's a big show. Um, so yeah, let me just see where we're going. Because I know we got a few things that we need to cover before anything. Oh yeah, the Ashanti. Some people are just dropping some names right about now. The Ashanti.
sorry,
Don't forget about the Asante as well, and the Afanti, and then Togo as well. Come on, we can't forget. And the Bar Congo. Come on, brother. Asai Hotep is be breaking down some information on all those things there as well. So you know what I wanted to touch on as well. The mindset, you know, supremist. What is a supremist though? I want to know what is a supremist, and are black people, black supremacists, or are the Kemetics or whoever, are we black supremacists? That's a good question.
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because I'm gonna try and find that now. Supremacy. Supremacy, yeah?
Yeah, so we have
what do you think of
we have one here that says an advocate of the supremacy of a particular group, especially one determined by race or sex, a white supremacist. Adjective relating to or advocating the supremacy of a particular group or supremacist ideologies. Okay.
The reason why I put that in the topic because I've been seeing a lot of the brothers and in Speaker's Corner, or the brothers sharing the screen. Yeah, a lot of the brothers at Speaker's Corner and stuff like that I've been seeing, especially in the comments. People have been saying, "Oh, we're black supremacists, we're supremacists." Like, you know what I mean? You guys are black supremacists, and I'm thinking to myself, black supremacists, supreme. I'm thinking supreme. What supreme power do we have? I don't see it. What they was trying to get. I don't know. Sometimes people just throw out words just because it sounds good, but
do you know what I call that deflection. Deflection. Do you know why? Let me read it here. It says supremism is the worldview that a particular age, race, species, ethnicity, religion, gender, social class, ideology, nation, or culture is superior to other variations of that trait, and advocate those who identify with it to dominate, control, and subjugate those who do not. So, we clearly know, number one, black people in general are not in a supreme position at present. That's number one. So therefore, we aren't dominating, controlling, and subjugating others. But let's simply go to religion. Let's just simply go to religion, because that is one of the classifications, right? There is religion supremism, right? And I'm sure I'm not going to name no names of your religions. Okay, I'm just going to say religions. Okay, there's certain religions that promote that their religion is superior to every other religion in the world. Every other religion in the world. They say that they're the best of creation, and those people who do not subscribe to their religion is the worst of creatures or beasts. This is in their holy books. They also say that those people who are part of their religion and so forth will be going to heaven. Every single one of them, even if they're a bad Muslim or Christian, maybe, I think it is, you lot will be going to heaven. But everybody else, I shouldn't be naming no religions, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, pardon me. But everybody else will be tasting hellfire or will be in the hellfire, if you are not. If you are an infidel, if you're a kafir or a non-believer or disbeliever, like, your religion is the best. Okay, I don't know whether Kemetic philosophy or other African ideologies or religions actually share the same worldview. I really have never ever heard anybody from the Yoruba faith, from the Igbo faith, from the Ashanti faith, from the Serer faith, from the keep it going with the different cultures out there, the Ba Congo, that says, if you do not practice our particular tradition, you're going to hell, or some, you know, designated place that's going to be evil, basically. I've never heard anybody say that. I've never heard them say that their religion or their way or their philosophy is the best way and every other philosophy is the worst. You know, I think we in the African continent and diaspora who hold on to the traditions all realize that, you know, there isn't a monopoly on the truth. There isn't a monopoly on the truth. Somebody said it to me the best. It's like having a somewhat of a tent with different people inside of the tent, and the same source, okay, which is the sun, has now burst or poked holes, or people have poked holes, should I say. Somebody has poked a hole inside of the tent, okay? And you know, let's say there's 10 people in the tent. They've all each poked a hole above their heads, okay? And each one of them has a portion of the sunlight shining down on their face. And they can each see a portion of the sky based upon where they're sitting inside the tent and based on where they've poked the hole through. So that's kind of like the African philosophy and concept. There isn't no such thing as supremacy. You know, we all share that we all have access to the truth. We all have access to the skies, to the sun, to the moon, to the waters, to nature. We all have access to it. There isn't one person who has a higher access over than somebody else. You know, we all know about white supremacy, you know, taking over. But are there such things as Arab supremacy as well? Quite clearly, we can see that there's white supremacy, there's Arab supremacy going on, you know, and a lot of cultures are being affected. You know, in the West, there is a supremacy even with and against religions such as Islam. I feel sorry for my Muslim brothers and sisters who are and have got family in Syria, have got family in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all of these other places, Yemen, Sudan, you know, even Nigeria. You know, you have the West, you know, practicing white supremacy and religious supremacy and trying to eradicate and destroy those people over there as well. So I do feel the pain and the concerns for other people as well. So you can see that there is a lot of supremacy going around with religion, with race, even with ethnicity and gender and social classes as well. There's all of that going on. But unfortunately, when you come to the African philosophy or the Kemetic philosophy, I don't think we share those same ideals. But you let me know, Gabz, do we share those same ideals?
Nah, that's what I was gonna say. You broke a few points there. Yeah, for one, let's just be real for people out there, people that are listening. No black group, who's no black person or no black culture that's in a supreme position on this planet at this moment in time. I'm gonna see it. You know what I mean? And we don't really advocate that. Like you said, in the cultures that we have, we don't subdue people to hell and torment and do this. We're gonna come and do this to you, and it just sounds like some bullying to be like, if you don't do that for me, you don't really partake in that. And I'm gonna be real, I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? If I did see it, I'd actually say, yeah, do you know what? There are some groups that are in there. Well, I would say the only ones I do see from black people are, you know, Hebrew Israelites. You know what I mean? When they have their claims. You know what I mean? They push through certain things. You come across them on YouTube, you see the way they speak to people and push their stuff, but that's based on what they believe in that. So, but from an African point of view, I ain't really seen it. I don't really see it. I don't know if any of the people in the comment section or can disagrees with me or anything like that. But I don't see it.
I may have to play devil's advocate since we haven't got somebody from the other side on here. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay. Somewhat of a devil's advocate. You know, I'm sure you Kemetics, you know, you lot hold on to this, you know, black pride and this black power. I hear a lot of people in the comments saying black power, black power. You know, isn't that a form of black supremacy?
Supremacy. I don't know. Not really. I don't know. To be fair to me, I don't know. I think black power when they shine out Black Power, I think really it's like kind of a boosting up yourself. I don't know, giving yourself some encouragement. You know what I mean? To people that have that their power has been taken from them. You know what I mean? Through world history, through slavery, and to people that don't know themselves. Remember, the only thing that they can really say is Black Power to boost themselves because they don't really know much about their history. They don't know what to call themselves. So the best thing that they could say is Black Power. Like the Muslims, they would say, you know what I mean? That's like the Black Power chant. You know what I mean? Or the
See,
Christians would say Hallelujah.
I think you lot are fronting, yeah. You lot are fronting. Callum, Callum is a straight, Black Power, Black Pride individual. I'll be real with you. I'll tell you straight to your face. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be 100 with you guys right about now. Okay. I know we've been doing a lot of TV, a lot of YouTube. We're trying to, play it safe, be politically correct. But to hell with that right about now. I'm gonna be real with you. I actually do think a lot about myself. I really do. I've got a big ego. I've got a real big ego. And I got a lot of pride in myself. And I do think I am the best. I really do. I got a lot of pride in myself. And I think if everybody's going to be real with themselves as well, just so it's just not me, I'm going to just throw this out there. I think everybody else has a pride in their own team. And I think that's only fair. Like if you support Arsenal, you're going to say Arsenal is the best, right? If you support Man United, you're going to say Man United is the best, right? If you support Chelsea, you're going to say Chelsea is the best, right? If you come from a particular country, you're going to say your country is the best, right?
Yeah.
Surely that's the case. See, personally, I have a lot of pride in my blackness. I have a lot of pride in my heritage. I have a lot of pride in where I've come from, where my people have come from, and, the vision of where they're going to be going. I've got a lot of pride and in that, and I see that we have a lot of power and we have a lot of potential that we should be actualizing, if not now, in the very near future. So I'm a very Black Power and a Black Pride individual, but not to the extent where my pride and my power is there to control, oppress, and dominate another group of people. And I personally hold that we all equally have enough power and pride, etc., within inside of ourselves. So I promote personally, brown power or Asian power to the Asian man, white power to the white man. Some people want to say yellow power to the Chinese man. I don't know, however you want to say it. I promote power to every single group of people out there, that they should have their own power, because at the moment you now, say that you have no pride in your own group of people, you now fall into another group of people. It's power system, power construct. And because you're not a part of their own power construct, you're going to be underneath them. So it's beneficial for you, whatever religion, whatever race, whatever culture you are, is to have some pride and power in that which you stand for, but not to the point when you become haughty or boastful, that you surpass your haughtiness and your boastfulness beyond the point of truthfulness. That's the only problem to me, to be honest with you. Other than that, have your power system and have your power construct, and don't let anybody make you feel wrong for having pride in yourself, pride and power within yourself. Because I know, I used to have books here where they used to have like black images of Jesus or something like that. Like they'll have black images of Jesus. And then you know what? Other black people and other white people will make you look like you're wrong. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, oh, you're a Black Power person for having a black image of Jesus. But then it's all okay for you to have your white images of Jesus. It's okay. Nobody calls you out to say that's white power or you are a racist for having a white picture of Jesus. But soon as they see something that's different, such as a black Jesus or something along those lines, they now call you names because you now want to have pride in your own culture. Like when you go to China now, and they're Christians, they will have a Chinese version of Jesus. You go to, South America, they'll have a South American Spanish-looking version of Jesus. You go to Norway or whatever, then you have a very Aryan-looking Jesus, etc., etc., etc. But when we now paint a black version of Jesus, like something's wrong with you. You're racist. When you start talking that Kemet stuff, like there's something wrong with you. When you're starting to embrace your African culture and heritage, there's something wrong with you. And there is a big conspiracy. I say conspiracy because it seems as though that they're all conspiring and contractually agreeing amongst themselves in terms of the media world to actually denigrate and degrade black power or denigrate black spiritual systems. We could even just turn on to our Nollywoods. These are African channels, your Ben TVs, and the way and the light that they portray African religion and history and culture and spiritual system, it's like, it's very dark, it's very demonic, it's very something else.
Yeah.
And then at the same breath, after the film is finished, the devil has been defeated. You must now come to Jesus. Jesus is the way. Jesus is the truth. Jesus is the life. And then they'll just show you a white picture of Jesus. And you think to yourself, but wait, like, you've just spent a whole Nollywood film, 6 hours. You spend a whole 6 hours, denigrating and degrading, black history, black culture, your Nigerian roots. And then at the end of the film to tell me about white Jesus. Like, what is wrong with you? I just don't get it at times. But anyway, sorry, I've been rambling. Go ahead, King.
Nah, I'm glad you brought this up, because it was leading into that whole thing. I was leading into this whole thing about, why is it any time? And this is what I've seen at Speaker's Corner. I've seen it slowly. It's been happening now. This corner, we've slowly started to introduce our culture and speak about our culture. It's been an uproar. Like, what? You guys are idolatrous. Don't bring that stuff here. Like, like what I spoke about on the video earlier, when one of our good brothers who we still love him, and Rashid said, why I can understand the Christians, but why are you bringing that Kemet bullshit? Sorry for using it. That Kemet BS. Why are you guys even talking about that? I mean, that's talking about our culture. Everyone seems to not want us to talk about that. Want to tell, it's like different groups want to tell Black Africans what to do, what to speak about, and what to say. Don't speak about your voodoo and your witchcraft and your demon stuff in your culture. Christianity. You're not going to speak about them two. Just be an atheist. You know what I mean? But the moment we start bringing up stuff in the culture, you know what I mean? Nah, man, that stuff can't be proven. It's heathen, it's wrong. But idol worshippers.
Well, I think
with that.
To be honest, I think it's the fear. It's the fear. Do you know why?
Oh, fear.
You know why? Because they like in their cultures and their religion, they believe in black magic. They literally believe. They call it black magic. They don't call it magic though. They call it black magic. And they talk about the jinns and all those things there. So they know that stuff got power. And they realize that, I personally feel as though they realize that if African people now start bringing that stuff, let's just say into Speaker's Corner, or let's just say into the world, like that's gonna really show things up. Because as I said before, we can do this God stuff. We can chant to God and say, God, please do this. And we could be there praying all day long, for God to do something. We all know from an African conceptualization that Most High God does not, is transcendent. He doesn't actually affect this reality as a personal deity. To actually be able to call on God means that you have power on God to actually affect change. So that's something else. That's another concept in totality, because he now becomes your slave if you can ask him to do something and he does it. But from an African conceptualization, they fully know that they have power over the God elements in nature. Okay, and they know as soon as an African person now says is peak, bruv. It's peak. It's peak. Man, they could just man could start using the African science route and just fax you a heart attack. You know them ways there. Just heart attack. You know them ways there. You know them ways there. Insanity. You know them ways there. Blindness. I think.
It's serious, and I think that's why they had to. Portray it as negative and not really let people or people get into that, because let's be real, people. People that are listening, people that are watching, people in the comment section. Real. When you watch yourself these horror movies on Hollywood, and you see Damien or Exorcist, and you know, you got these little European kids breaking their neck backwards, crawling on the walls. You get a bit scared. Oh, you jump a bit. When you watch yourself some hardcore African voodoo man doing some serious magic on a person, yeah, tell me which one do you fear more? Tell me. I know deep down you fear that more. You've heard it say, "Oh, listen, don't mess with that Obia man. Don't mess with that voodoo man because that guy there, you know what I mean? You know his peak. These men fear because they know they're dealing with the herbs. They're dealing with the real magic,
You see,
not this whole focus business.
you see it.
They're dealing with
You never get that warning to don't deal with that. Don't mess with that pastor. Don't mess with that imam.
yeah.
Nobody says that, you know. Just make sure you don't mess with that Obiya man there, you know. Don't mess with him. But real quickly before you jump in, yeah, I just want to shout out Christian Mobasila. He says, yes, I was actually biting or quoting or paraphrasing. That's it. Fred Hampton part of his speech. He says, black power to the black man, white power to the white man, yellow power to the yellow man. Boom. Thank you. I see you. Thanks, King. But yeah, continue, King. Continue.
Yeah. When it comes back to the Obi and the voodoo man, and he's dealing with that stuff there, and I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that's heard, or you've heard of a friend or a friend of a friend or someone. I've heard someone went to go and use some voodoo from the voodoo man and do some wrongdoings to a person, or you've heard somewhere down the line that, oh, this guy over here did a little bit of voodoo to gain some money, and the shiz worked. So this is what I'm trying to say. This stuff ain't no joke. So I think this is the reason why they had to demonize this whole voodoo system. You know what I mean? And keep not just other cultures away, but keep even black Africans away from it. Keep them away from getting that knowledge. Because think about it. What would happen if you have over how many of black Africans practicing voodoo? Yeah, African culture voodoo and using that on the world. What would happen? How would the world be? For one, you wouldn't be the pharmacists and the chemists, they would go out of business because you wouldn't need that because half of the stuff in there is coming from the forest anyway. Business. Do you know what I mean? And then you'd have people going around doing this type of magic. And remember, you got some people that when they withhold certain powers, they don't know how to withhold it. Do you know what I mean? Some would use it to do good, some would use it to do bad. Do you know what I mean? It would just be an all right madness. So they couldn't have that. So the best thing that they had to do was put voodoo and black magic in a box to say, listen, this stuff is bad. Don't deal with this. Away from it. Do you see what I'm saying? Demonize it. So it's only a rare few people that talk about it. It's like an urban legend. Voodoo man, don't deal with that. Don't go too far to that land because voodoo might get you. The spirits are gonna take you. You see what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah. So, hey, real quickly, I just wanted to shout out to the original voodoo juju Obia man, Jesus JC. All right. Oluwa Jesu. Shouts to him, bruv. Shouts to him. He was the first one who just man just wiped away blindness just like that. Man said, wind, you want to be blowing against my face, is it, Abi? You want to now cause chaos. Oh yeah, stop. The first one, first one in religion to do that, bruv. Man says, so now what are you? You did think you're over me, eh? I will show you I'm over you. Man started walking across the water, Man, even to the point, man said, yo, fig tree. Bad man, is it? Bad man. All right, cool. Say nothing, fam. Say nothing. Man got the thing for you. Oh yeah, you will not bear fruit ever again. Shrivel and die. First Obia man, first Juju man, bruv. Yeah, the men ain't seen it, The men ain't seen it. Shout out to Moses as well, Shout out to men like Moses. The first one now to be instituting sacrifices and sprinkling blood over people's garments and things like that. The blood of Jesus. All of that. Yeah, listen. Shouts out to them man there, Them man there who don't get no backlash to say it's witchcraft or black magic. Shouts to you man there, that get away with it. But for the Africans, it's hard out there, It's hard out there. If we start doing the same thing, it's hard out there.
It's hard out there, yeah. It's hard out there. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what goes back in now we're talking about the cultures, and for some reason I don't know if it's an agenda, or I don't know what it is. But it's just anytime we try to deal with our stuff, it's just demonized and just shut down. Don't even speak of that. Don't you dare even mention that. Don't bring none of that black stuff around here. Culture stuff around here. We don't want to hear that. Don't bring none of that sun gazing, that sun worshipping stuff over here. The sun, you know what I mean? Don't bring none of that stuff to do with plants and herbs. Don't bring that stuff around here. Deal with the text. Yeah, just deal with the text. You guys just stay with the text. Or if you're not gonna stay with the text, just be atheist. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
let me see something real quickly. Angela Suleiman says Voodoo made the Haitian Revolution successful. Titans TV. Those Africans defeated the French, British, and Spanish. Just gonna get some comments just read out real quickly. Black magic is dangerous, no joke. That's from my Muslim brother. A lot of Hebrew Israelites in London, see them in Brixton a lot now. Yeah, shout out to my Hebrew Israelites, man. Kwame Sharala. Kwame Sharala. Yo, Kalam, one day you will have to stop promoting this religion. No problem. Why did they obia in Jamaica illegal if it had no power? Oh yeah, why did they outlaw obia in Jamaica? They had no power. Why don't you do proper debates, Callum? Yeah, Callum, don't forget the Berber people of North Africa. Yeah. So North African power to my my Berbers out there. Still. Let me just see what's good. What's good with the family? I want to make sure I got everybody up in here. Who saw the Christian priest who spoke to God on his cell phone? Tiana says, Callum, you're giving me jokes. Let's just get it in. Let me see what's good. What's good with the family? A warrant has been issued for Callum's arrest. The charge, murder by knowledge. Shugwan, I love that, King. I love that. We're going in. We're going in, family. We're going in. Yeah, let's continue, King. Let's continue, man. I'm just making sure that all my people over here is represented. And please, drop your comments. Drop your comments in the comment section. I definitely want you guys to be represented. Diamond Purpose, let me just get her one in there. Our powers destroy the matrix. They don't want us to step out. Anything that we are taught, because it brings infinite possibilities into our reality, giving us more control over our world. Whew. Power. Teachers, it's harder turning wine into water though. Oh, someone says that, you know, Jesus turned water into wine. Jeez. You know, there's big things, you know, there. If you could turn water into wine, I'm there turning government juice into Ribena. Alchemy.
Alchemy. Alchemy. Yeah.
Hey, what are you saying, guys? What are you saying? Let's keep getting it, man. Let's keep getting it.
Yeah, my next bit I want to talk about, actually, now we're getting into that. African teaching on respect and family. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm obviously keeping it to African, but this is the stuff that needs to be put out there. Like a brother said, we got to push for our community, help the youth, save the youth, because you know you see it on the news day to day. Black youths are out there stabbing, kill each other at a high rate. See it in the neighborhoods, in the communities. We have some, probably we've got some mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters who've lost a loved one due to knife crime, gun crime, and all this stuff. So I just want to bring this up because we haven't been taught a lot of based on togetherness, family, unity, and culture, because it's brought up either in the church, in the mosque, from those perspectives. You see what I'm saying? All those ways how to raise a family and stuff was brought to us by a religious perspective. You see what I'm saying? And not an African perspective. So I got one of the cultures, obviously, like I said, like I described to, which is good. It's a good starting point for talking about togetherness, morality, and all that stuff. My brother knows it, and that's my art. People go out there and research my art. Don't take our words for it. Research my art. Look into my art and what it means, what it consists of. I know my brother there's probably got a book there or something on my art. You know what I mean? But I would very, very highly family, not even just the Africans, Hindus, Christian, Muslims, Jews, atheists, everybody. Just look at that whole concept on ma'at and morality, and see what we're dealing with. I can read a little bit here. Ma'at as a principle. I can read this. Is from. I'm gonna give it a little read. It says,
Oh, hold on. Before you go in on that, I just
ma'at.
wanna. Can you hear me? Yeah. Before you go in on that, I just want to give a
Yeah, yeah.
shout out to Rich Kid 369, Uncle Just, and Neb. Um, Before anything else, real quickly, I just want to read the comments quickly. Just to make sure I'm not missing anybody out. Yeah, real quickly, I want to give a shout outs to you guys. You guys are the real MVPs. Why am I saying that? Can I tell you why I'm saying that? I just saw this today. I was shocked. I didn't even realize. Can you look see up here? Can you see that up here? Let me know if you can see that. You ain't seeing nothing, man. You lot ain't seeing. Let me know, man. Do you lot see that? What are you seeing there? I reached 5 million views today. Yeah, buddy, 5 million views. Yeah, give thanks, man. Give thanks. You guys are it's love, it's love. I love that. I love that. I love that. So thank you guys for making me reach 5 million views. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Let's grow this. Let's grow the channel, man. Subscribe. We have loads of conscious lectures, discussions, interviews, debates going on over here at Titans TV. We try to do a show every single Wednesday. I try to puff up a few shows in the week. We had a Christian brother breaking down. What was he breaking down? Is Christianity the white man's religion? That was powerful. That was really, really good. That's a claim that's been permeating throughout the conscious community, which has been leaving people to say, nope, I'm not interested in Christianity. But he broke down. My brother broke down. If you haven't checked it out, let me just show you where it is furthermore. And I apologize, family. I've been kind of tardy in the sense that I haven't actually been doing thumbnails like I usually do. But this is the show here. It's Christianity, the white man's religion. He broke that down, showing the African presence inside of Christianity. Very, very powerful show. Then we had Kemet's Corner. That was another good show. I believe that was yesterday. No, that was the day before yesterday, furthermore. That was really nice. Then we had a show or me just freestyling, no time for haters. And then this morning or this afternoon, my brother Gabz went in addressing the haters. And now we're doing another show. So this has been a real powerful week. We've got some speakers corner stuff. I haven't uploaded nothing for a little while. But at the same time, I actually do have certain things in the pipeline that is scheduled to pop off. Okay, it is scheduled to pop off. I just say I ain't posted it yet, so it's scheduled. Maybe I'll post it tomorrow or something like that. Okay. I got loads of videos that I've got scheduled in the pipeline. I just haven't posted because y'all ain't supporting, man. Y'all ain't supporting for real. I got certain brothers like my brother Teach. He supports. Yeah, he supports. What you guys don't realize that a lot of the channels over here at YouTube is actually they're going through a process where like a lot of YouTubers is just shutting it down because they're not getting the support, they ain't getting the finances that they deserve, via YouTube and the ads, etc., and via their own community members as well. So if you want to see your channels, like if you want to see, like, I don't know, like if you subscribe to like Sarnetta and things like that, please support them. If you're subscribed to like the advice show over in America, subscribe to the Doctor of Common Sense, all of these great channels here that I've got, they got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, more subscribers than I personally have, right? But they are going through some chaotic times right now because the advertisers are pulling money away from YouTube, and YouTube aren't showing ads on their channels, or programs like this which is talking controversial information, politics, religion, anything literally against talking about Islam or against Islam. Literally that stuff gets pulled away. Like they don't want to have none of that on their channel. So a lot of the revenue that was originally coming for our channels, like my channels and other channels, that's been cut. So what I do say, is please like go to like Patreon, their Patreons or their PayPals or whatever they have, like GoFundMe's, and like drop in like $5, $10 a month. Like if you can, imagine if everybody just dropped in just $1 every single month on this channel. Like imagine that. Like we will literally have a big studio. I would have literally, if I had that type of support from this channel and the people that are subscribed, I would have set up a studio over here. I would have flown over to Amsterdam, over into Nigeria, over into the Americas, over into the Caribbeans, and set stuff up where we can have Titans TV and other franchises just happening in all around the world, like where we're getting this information out. What's going on in Saudi Arabia? What's going on in Kenya? What's going on in Sweden? Like I would love to get all of that information out, but guess what? You guys don't support. You don't support. So if you can, hit the super chat button, support us. Hit our Patreons, support us. Don't just support me. Like if you watch YouTube and you've got your favorite channels, yeah, please ask them, where can I go to donate for your channel? Because YouTube and Google and advertisers are doing it where, like, literally a lot of my great YouTubers now, they don't even post up no content, because the amount of time it takes to post up great content and do all that work, they're not getting paid for. Like, so if you want to see your channel still here, support them, subscribe to them, share their links, whatever it is, like, do what you can do to support them, because boy, it's getting hard out there. I'm just keeping it real. Sorry to just be sidetracking, but I'm saying it for real. Like, I was listening to Doctor of Common Sense today, and I was like, what? Like, you're a big boy channel. You're telling me you're struggling? And nobody ain't really, going into your Patreon and stuff. No, I need to donate some money. Like, you dropping some gems. So yeah, please support them, man. Support everybody. All right, go on, Gabz. Continue, King. Continue.
Yeah, man, good. That's some good information to sharing there, man. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm gonna get back into this whole Ma'at. So this is just a little reading of Ma'at as a principle. So it says this: Ma'at represents the ethical and moral principle that every Egyptian citizen was expected to follow throughout their daily lives. They were expected to act with honor and truth in manners that involve family, the community, the nation, the environment, and God. Yeah, that's the main thing. I'm going to read out one more time so people can hear that. Ma'at represents the ethical and moral principle that every Egyptian citizen was expected to follow throughout their daily lives. They were expected to act with honor and truth in manners that involve the family, the community, the nation, and God. You see? So this is as a principle. This is what they had in the Nile Valley during that time. This is why they brought that about. I would say that would be good today, is because we don't do we see people doing that? Do we care for the nation? Do we build up our nation? Do we care for family? Do we act with manners and respect with our families? Some people might do. Do we care for the environment? Maybe not. Maybe not. Do you know what I mean? So these are things that I think that household needs to get back to. This rule that I think that if they implemented this type of stuff in their household, not even just the African, but anyone, if they implemented this stuff in their household, in their community, in their nation, in their environment, and to their creator, whoever it be, make the world, not even just the world, the way you live, a better place. You see what I'm saying? This is the stuff that should be taught to the youth and to the children, and to the children's children, and to the adults, and to the elders, and to the ancestors, everybody. Big shout out to Ma'at as a principle. There is other African cultures out there that implement the same honor, respect, giving reverence to the ancestors. Ancestors just don't mean just the dead. Ancestors could be living. Yeah, so giving respect to them, honoring the environment, respect to the environment, and looking after your environment, because at the end of the day, we get our food, which we used to eat to feed our families. So we got to respect it. You know what I mean? So these are things that I think we need to start getting back into and implementing and in our communities. Was you gonna say something, brother?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I was actually. Shouts to Amun. Wow. Yeah, shouts to Amun, man. Shouts to Amun. My brother's just donated some serious guap, some serious change. Like, wow. That's black power. So Kem. Black power, man. That's some power right there. Trust me. That's some power. Yeah. I see everybody just talking about it right now. That's some power right there. You know, so if we can imagine if we all did something like that, just imagine with collective economics, yeah, and we all gather together around an organization, all right, and we done things and we affected change, like we would be powerful. That is power right there. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I'm reading from in search of God, the search for God in ancient Egypt by Jan Assmann, and he was basically breaking down the concept of religion. That in ancient Egypt there was literally no word for religion, but the closest concept that we do have for religion is ma'at, is ma'at, literally is ma'at. And it says that ma'at designates the idea of a meaningful, all-pervasive order that embraces the world of humankind, objects, and nature. In short, the meaning of creation, the form in which it was intended by the Creator God. The present condition of the world no longer corresponds to this meaning. The difference manifests itself in the phenomenon of isfet, lack, sickness, death, scarcity, injustice, falsehood, theft, violence, war, enmity. All these are manifestations of lack in a world that has fallen into disorder through loss of its original plenitude of meaning. Okay. And let me see if I can get some other stuff in here. It says, but in Ma'at, as the embodiment of an original plenitude of meaning that manifested itself as provisioning and justice, turning their historical perspective backwards, they strove with all their might to keep the original plenitude of meaning in view and to bring it into force through constant activity. Okay, and it also goes on to explain that in order for us to realize Ma'at, or the concept of realizing Ma'at from the pharaonic perspective, was literally, there was three criteria or three categories, which is the human realm, the divine realm, and the ancestral realm. All right, and you do this in the human realm is administration of justice, provisioning. The divine realm is pacifying and satisfying. The gods, divine offerings, and the deceased or the ancestors, mortuary offerings. Religion in the wider sense literally meant, or ma'at in the wider sense, literally meant ethics and justice. Religion in the narrow sense, or ma'at in the narrow sense, is the contact with the deities and providing for the ancestors. So ma'at was literally the balancement of the three realms. Ma'at was literally the balancement of the three realms, making sure that the three realms were carefully provided for and had a plenitude. Okay, was not in lack, was not in isfet, was not in wrong, was not in disorder, was not in chaos, but everything had a receptacle. What's that concept again? You know, when you give and then you get back, the concept of giving and getting back.
Giving and get back, giving and receiving, yeah.
Yeah, giving and receiving. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. And in other terms, like for those of you who are part of certain fraternal, societal, mystic groups, you know about the principle of Amra. Okay, you give, okay, and in giving, yeah, you always receive, you always get something back. That's just the natural order of things. So Ma'at was keeping that natural order. If you're giving to your fellow mankind will give back to you. That was literally the meaning of Hotep. When most people today, like, you say Assalamu alaikum, like peace be upon you. In ancient Egypt, we had the same concept of Hotep. But Hotep, the concept of Hotep, if you've ever seen Hotep, the concept of it is literally a mat, a stool, and offerings of like drink and food. That was literally Hotep. We realized the most peaceful states, okay, or the most satisfying state will ever be is when we are offered food and drink. So Hotep has a dual meaning or triple meaning. Furthermore, it has a meaning of being of offerings, Hatepu. Then you got the meaning of being satisfied, Hotep, and then you've also got the meaning of being peaceful. Okay, so that's one of the reasons right there. Like when you come to an African person's house, okay, generally speaking, you bring a drink, you bring some yam, you bring some plantain, you bring some banana, you bring all of those different things there, and you give it to them to show your gratitude for them. That's that state of peace. And you know, when you come to that house, yeah, there's going to be a good food that's just going to be laid out for you. There's going to be food. There's going to be drink. There's all of that. That's that reciprocity going on right there. You're giving. That's that ma'at right there. That principle of giving and receiving. And it's the same thing in the divine realm. We give certain divine offerings, whether it's offerings of our mouths or offerings otherwise, and we know that we're receiving something back from the divine realm. Same with the ancestors as well. Okay, they've given us so much that we're actually here, and at times we leave out symbolic offerings of libations and food to let them know that we still remember you. We still call out your name, because we realize the name is the most powerful thing. That once you call out somebody's name, they're actually living in your memory banks, in your heart, etc., etc., etc. So these are the types of things that we used to do. We used to offer ma'at. We used to offer justice. We used to offer balancement. We should offer reciprocity. All of those good things are in the embodiment of ma'at, of plenitude, of fullness, of abundance, the law of abundance right there, for those people who know about the law of the law of attraction and the secret. But go ahead, my brother, continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, just to piggyback on that also, the whole giving and receiving thing was where people would very much say that it's big. They actually have been receiving a lot is obviously the Christian community. Yeah, you was also said to give and then you receive. So tithes and offering was the same kind of thing of giving. The pastor would tell you to give the blessings of Christ for giving in your life. You see what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, or 8 times out of 10, it was the pastor who was mainly getting more of the receiving end. But I think so back onto that, the togetherness and the honoring and the respect. And it's a good thing we're on this topic because we spoke about it earlier on an earlier video. You know what I mean? Showing the difference in respect and the African thought, because we had there was a video that we showed with one of our good brothers who said some words disrespectful, but we kind of turned the cheek. We didn't really throw a fist or turn it into anything big. We just we received it and obviously swallowed it up and just moved on. Do you know what I mean? And this is what people should be doing. This is what we should be doing out there. We're going to say things. Those people are going to have different beliefs and say things that might offend you in that. But the true peace and the true peace that will be shown is if you just say nothing, turn the other cheek, or offering the other one. Do you know what I mean? So this is what we need to start implementing in our communities. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, atheist, Kemetic, we all need to practice this daily. You know what I mean? And that's the truth of keeping our morality and keeping ourselves together. Going up, and just causing all kinds of chaos. You know what I mean? Having balance. Obviously, there is a time for that, but just having balance. You know what I mean? I think that's what we need to start pushing towards, and then that would even make where people come down a bit more enjoyable and a bit more friendly. So that's all I wanted to say on that. Bit that I wanted to do is obviously my brother. We had to get the prophecy because the prophecy ties into all the things we've been talking about or the things I've been sharing today. Because this just puts everything all in a nutshell. In a nutshell, in a blanket, in a kangaroo sack, it puts everything in it.
There you go. But I wanted to do something real quickly. I wanted to give a big shout out to everybody who's been supporting Titans TV. So real quickly, okay? Sister Tafari, supporting. Brother Teach, supporting. 118 Eel, supporting. Sister Tafari again. Brother Teach, supporting. Brother Amun, supporting. So I have to give my shout outs to all of these individuals that have supported Titans TV. And I actually want to make sure I can give something super special back to them. I don't know what it is yet, okay? But I want to give something back to them. All right? I don't know what it is, but I need to give something back to them because that's the support, that's the love I love to see out there. But real quick, let me just go into the comment section. Let's just make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. That's powerful. We got like 56 likes already. Like shout outs to the YouTube family who's tuned in and showing that love and support. That's love. That's real love right there. Let me just see. Let me just see. Let me just see. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, and big up all the trolls as well, man. We love you, man. We love you. We love you. We got my brother. We got my brother Jay Blacks is in the building, man. He'll be blocking you, man, left, right, and center. You now have to just create a new identity, a new avatar to get back in here. So I love that. You know, trust me, it's not everybody that we need up in here. You know, don't ever get that twisted. Yeah, let me get that up. Has anyone noticed that? Yeah, we noticed the trolls, man. We noticed the trolls. I'm gonna ask again. So Callum, can see. No, I ask, if God creates the sun on the fifth day, how did 5 days pass if there was no day and night to pass the days? Boy. That's a good question. Christians, Muslims, can we get the answer to that? I'm not even going to know. I'm not even going to give them no answers for that one. That's the ones they have to ask for the Christians and Muslims. Let me see. Peace Times TV, you're doing bits right now. Thanks, family. That's Drive 777. Thank you for that. Yeah, let me get up that quote that you've been asking for. Let me get it up. Let me get it up, man. And then I think in a little while we'll open up, and I will send over the link as well. Kwame Sharala, to my brother Ezra Adair. Kwame Sharala. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me get it up and keep on flowing, King. Keep on flowing.
Yo, yeah, man. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this prophecy basically, like I said, this just rounds everything up in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Because this shows like what the ancestors knew, or they must have known in the future. You know what I mean? I didn't see any other. I don't know about any other prophets in any other religions speaking about this, or they didn't mention this, but obviously our ancestors our ancestors clearly knew about something that was going to happen. So this is why I wanted to show this, so the people, not just for African, not for just for Africans, but for everyone to see. You know what I mean? Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist. This is a big part. So brother has it. He's gonna read it again.
All right. So this is coming straight off the Hermetica. For those people who got this particular copy, which is, to me, it's the academic copy. So I love it the best. It's page 81. And it says here, do you know Asclepius, which is Imhotep? This is the Greek rendering of Imhotep. That Egypt is an image of heaven. Or to be more precise, that everything governed and moved in heaven came down to Egypt and was transferred there. If truth were told, our land is the temple of the whole world. And yet, since it befits the wise to know all things in advance, so if you're wise and you want to know something in advance, here we go. Of this, you must not remain ignorant. A time will come when it will appear that the Egyptians paid respect to divinity with faithful mind and painstaking reverence to no avail, to no purpose. All their holy worship will be disappointed and perish without effect, for divinity will return from earth to heaven, and Egypt will be abandoned. The land that was the seat of reverence will be widowed by the powers and left destitute of their presence. When foreigners occupy the land and territory, not only will reverence fall into neglect, but even harder, a prohibition on the penalty prescribed by law will be enacted against reverence, fidelity, and divine worship. Then this most holy land, seat of shrines and temples, will be filled completely with tombs and corpses. O Egypt, Egypt of your reverent deeds, only stories will survive, and they will be incredible to your children. Only words cut in stone will survive to tell your faithful works, and the Scythian or Indian or some such neighbor barbarian will dwell in Egypt, for divinity goes back to heaven, and all the people will die deserted as Egypt will be widowed and deserted by God and human. I call to you, most holy river, and I tell your future. A torrent of blood will fill you to the banks, and you will burst over them. Not only will blood pollute your divine waters, it will also make them break out everywhere, and the number of the entombed will be much larger than the living. Whoever survives will be recognized as Egyptian only by his language. In his actions, he will seem as a foreigner. Um, it does continue, but I will stop there and let's see if we can break down what was going on. Okay.
Sugar.
So now it says, like, this is really for those people who are wise, and it's warning you to not be in ignorance. Okay, do not remain and stay in ignorance, for a time will come when it will appear that the Egyptians paid respect to divinity with faithful mind and painstaking reverence to no purpose. So everybody knows that the Egyptians were one of the most pious religious people in the whole entire world. Africans are the most religious, pious people in the whole entire world, but it seems as it's to no purpose. They're going to be labeled all types of names. Are you with me? They're going to be labeled all types of names to make their reverence and divine worship look like nothing. All their holy worship will be disappointed and perish without effect, for divinity will return from earth to heaven, and Egypt will be abandoned. Okay, so it's saying here, all of the things that we incarnated on earth, meaning the deities and the spiritual beings that were on earth, okay, dwelling with man, will now go back up into the heavens, okay? And they will be abandoned. The whole earth will be abandoned by the divinity or the divine realm. The land that was once the seat of reverence will be widowed by the powers and left destitute of their presence. So as you can see, a lot of people have given up and given away their indigenous culture and religion and spiritual systems, okay? And the whole land is literally destitute of their presence. When foreigners, okay, so it's letting you know that this is not going to happen, with the indigenous population by itself, but foreigners will now come, occupy the land and territory. Not only will reverence fall into neglect, but even harder, okay? So even harder, after that comes that those foreigners come in, a prohibition, okay? A prohibition on the penalty prescribed by law will be enacted against reverence. So where do we see that? Where do we see that? One of the brothers was saying earlier on that Jamaica outlawed Obia. It was literally outlawed. So all these reverent practices were literally outlawed. Egypt, 390 AD, outlawed. Okay, the Christian, one of the Christian emperors, was it Justinian? Literally,
Constantine.
Sorry?
Constantine?
No, it wasn't Constantine. It's much later. He was a bit more lenient because he was of pagan ancestry, so to speak, or a pagan perspective, until he saw the sun and the cross combine, where he saw that he could combine his empire with Christianity, etc., etc. So they were banned, they were bound and outlawed to actually practice their religion. Just as when you go into let's say like Islamic countries, you can't dare claim to have these African practices. You can't do these things. Okay, even Christianity is even being outlawed and banned in certain countries, let alone African spiritual systems. So we can see this actually taking place in numerous places. It also talks about then this most holy land, seat of shrines and temples, will be filled completely with tombs and corpses. So once where there were shrines and temples, guess what's going to happen? Everybody's going to be the walking dead. They're going to turn into the walking dead. They're living in homes that we're going to call now tombs, and them themselves are going to be corpses. Oh, Egypt, Egypt, of your reverend deed, and only stories will survive. What we see now is only the stories and that which is cut into the walls. And you know, even people now is just looking at it as like, wow, this is a really incredible story. Like it's very hard to believe. You know what? Africans did this. They built, you know, the Sphinx and the pyramids and all these things here. But guess what? We've actually left our great deeds cut into stones and cut into stones in the walls. You know, that will survive to tell of your faithful works. Okay, so your ancestry done these faithful works. Be not, you know, under any guise that an alien or somebody else was the one who actually built these great monuments. No, no, no other people, no Europeans, no Asians, nobody else built these stuff. Like, look in the walls and you could see that it was you yourselves, you native Egyptians, you native Africans built all these great stuff. All right. So it's letting you know, man, that the prophecy is real deep. I don't want to continue because it just sounds as though it's just my voice that's just talking. You know, but then there is going to be a prophecy where, you know, these people will come back from the Western lands, you know, the Western lands. I should read that bit out. I should read it out.
There we go.
You know, they'll come back.
There you go.
You
might as well touch that, big brother. You know what I mean? You might as well touch that. Coming from the Western lands. He's coming from the Western lands.
Yeah, you know what? Because it's gonna be long and hard for me to find it, but you know, it then talks about the restoration period, where all of the greats will come. You know, things will be restored back again, and thus seated atop the summit of the highest heaven, God is everywhere and surveys everything all around. For there is a starless place beyond heaven, remote from all bodily objects. It continues: the gods who rule the earth they will be stationed in a city founded at Egypt's furthest border towards the setting sun. Okay, so where's the setting sun? All right, the gods who rule the earth and they will be stationed in a city founded at Egypt's farthest border towards the setting sun, where the whole race of mortals will hasten by land and sea. But tell me where these gods of yours now, Trismegistus, stationed in this great city on the Libyan mountain, and for the time being, let that be their story. Okay, so it goes in, man. It goes in. It goes
and this is written. And this is written how long?
This is written literally 4th century BCE to the 2nd century AD. This type of talks was being penned down in the Hermetica. It's deep stuff, man. Deep stuff. But yeah, this what we're gonna do now. Yeah, let's just post up the link with inside here. I'll just post up the link inside of the comment section for anybody of you guys who want to join in with us. I'll post up the link. If you've got any questions or comments, come through, man. Come through. We definitely want you to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother, Edo man. How you doing, King?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Surviving.
You're living, King. You're living.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually,
all right.
I was gonna ask you a question, bro. You see, Rich Kid 369, did he have his own YouTube channel?
I believe so, man. He dealt with the Kabbalah and things of that nature.
My days.
I know you
blood.
Deep brother, yeah?
He's one of the guys here that I was watching his video. Big up to that guy. I don't know if he was on in the comments or where you saw him, but Rich Kid 369, bro. He was one of the guys that started me on that whole Kabbalah, looking at the whole stuff to do with Jesus and all that stuff. He was the first guy that on my journey when I came out, I was looking at some of his YouTube stuff. You know what I mean? So I want to big up him, Rich Kid 369. Also, Sarnetta TV, Shaka Utmost, Polite. You know what I mean? Depending on what people think on him. Sarah Soon Seti, Amara Squad, Timo Cyrus. Who else? Who am I forgetting? all those guys, man, because these were the guys that got me on some of this knowledge, man. They helped
Brother
on the
Ngozi.
journey. You know what I mean? And Ngozi, that's my guy still. You know me and Ngozi, but I love it when he goes in on the science. So in Ngozi, yeah. Trust.
All right. Since it seems as though nobody ain't really saying nothing, and we're already hitting that 2-hour mark, we're hitting that 2-hour mark right now. Hitting it, King. We're hitting it. So I don't know if you want to close down the show or you want to keep on going. You let me know.
What would you think is to close it?
But just in case, let me just do this real quickly, just in case you do choose to close it down. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Talk with the Titans. It's been a love. We've had my brother Gabz on. Edo Man just joined us right now. We're about to kick it behind the scenes with you guys. So I'm signing out. Salute, peace, blessings, love.